welcome into Knit Habits. So glad to have you with me here today. It has been well over 50 days since my last podcast. I'm sorry that I have been missing in action these last 50 some days. Actually, I can look and see when it was, to be exact. I know I said that I wouldn't be here 56 days and 4 hours, technically, at the moment. So I know I said I wouldn't be here for a while, but I didn't think it was going to be this long. We had the wedding. It was lovely. I will have some pictures that you probably have already seen in there. And then I got sick the following weekend, and I have had some changes with some medication that I take for the insomnia that I have, and then I've been having some migraine issues. So I have been missing because of all of those reasons, but I'm glad to be back in here with you guys, and I hope that you will enjoy this as much as I will, hopefully. I am currently wearing, this is from episode 1. You probably, if you have been here with me this whole time, you have seen this before. This is the Kevat, or Kevat, by Caitlin Hunter, by Boylan Knitworks, and this is Pink Salt by Moondrake, this like beigey kind of color here, and then this is Devilish Grin in Spin Cycle, dyed in the wool. So really cute little sweater. I just have it on, oops, sorry, camera. I have it on over a dress today. So super cute. I did put some more repeats in here when I made it. I think I put one more in because it is such a cropped sweater. So I did put one more in there. So Pink Salt is this, and then the Devilish Grin by Spin Cycle, dyed in the wool is the color work portion and the baubles on here. So yeah, I love this sweater. I do have today some finished objects for you. I have a half object, some new things that you haven't seen that I've cast on in the meantime, and some things that I have purchased as yarn pantry purchases to yarn enhancement, pantry enhancements, whatever you want to call it. I have those as well in there. So I'm so glad that you guys are here with me and that I'm back. So what have I finished? I will start off with this cute little thing. This is, let me just get to my notes here. This is the Birthday Wish scarf by Julie Pang. And I made this in I have my tag here, the Knitting for Olive, the compatible cashmere in the colorway Rose. There is the tag, and it's not going to go in there, but that's okay. So there's that color. It always looks brown, but it has a little bit of pink to it. And I will take this out of my hair now. If you haven't noticed, I did get my hair cut, so it is much shorter. And this is just such a sweet little knit, and it knit up really fast. I did this in a US 2.75, which is what it calls for. I did test knit this. It was a fun test knit. So here it is. And you start down on the end, and it gets wider and wider. And then, of course, you do decreases on the other end. So you can wear this in your hair. You could put it around your neck just once. You know, you can wear it so many ways. There's so many variations of this out there. So really sweet knit. I know it's now live on YouTube. I know she was on the top 10 on Ravelry for a while. The only thing about this is it does like to curl in, and I did block this and I pinned it down, but it still likes to curl in. So that's the main thing. But this compatible cashmere is so nice and soft. Definitely perfect for something like this that you may wear around your neck, you know, and then you can, it's definitely next to skin soft. And this one here I didn't even use the whole thing. So you can definitely get a lot, definitely get one of these out of, I think this is 50 grams. So you can definitely, no, it's 25-gram ball, sorry. So you can definitely get one out of that. So really sweet little pattern. You can even, put it on a bag or something like that. So definitely check that out. So that's done. And let's see, what else do I have done? I have my harvest cardigan done for the make along, for the cardigan make along, which is it's on Ravelry. There is a group under Knit Habits, and then it's also on Instagram under hashtag Make All The Cardigans 2024. So for my cardigan, the Harvest Cardigan by Tin Can Knits, I did make this out of the Big Twist Tweed, which is an acrylic yarn from Joann's. Really pretty. I think last time I just had the sleeves to do because I had gotten the bind off on the bottom done. So I have the sleeves done. Here's the whole sleeve, and then you do not ribbing, you do garter at the end of each of the sleeves so it matches the bottom of the cardigan. I did make this in the extra large in the recommended needles for the pattern. So I will say that the extra large is really big on me, and I'll put it on here in just a second. So it is really big, but you know what? Even here, in the summer, sitting at my desk next to the air conditioning, it's really nice to put on if I'm just sitting there, because I'll get cold if I'm just sitting at my desk waiting for a phone call or on the phone. So it is a really nice sweater just to throw on and have, that nice cuddly cardigan feeling. So I will go ahead and put that on here. So as you can tell, it is quite large, but you know what? It fits fine. There's nothing wrong with having a big cuddly cardigan to throw on. And it is nice and long. It goes, down past my butt. So it's a nice long cardigan. I didn't really make any modifications on it at all, so I made it really to the specifications on the pattern. I really didn't change anything. Now see, the sleeves are enormous, but that, whatever, it's fine. It's fine for a nice cuddly cardigan. I'm not unhappy with it. So that's done there. Yeah, that's good. And then what else do I have done? Last time I was with you guys, I was working on these socks. This is the Static fingering weight yarn by Knit Picks in the colorway John Boy. 437 yards, 100 grams, and it is a 75/25 superwash. So I have this one on the sock blocker here. So I did 15 rows of 2x2 twisted rib, and then 60 rows before I did the heel, and I just did the shadow wrap heel. And then I did about 65 rows actually, before I did the toe, and then I just did the rounded toe. And I do have the other one here. So I've already worn these before. And I think when I worked on that with this yarn, I talked about this last time, I didn't love the yarn. I kept dropping stitches. I don't know if it's because I usually use an 80/20 and this is a 75/25, so maybe it's just a little bit slicker because of the, having more nylon than I'm used to. I'm not sure. I didn't love using this yarn. The colorway's fine. Nothing wrong with that part. I didn't love, it didn't feel good to work with. So I don't know that I would use this Static yarn again. And I honestly am not even sure that they have it because Knit Picks is changing so many things. So, but those are done. And The other socks that I have that are done, these are so fun. I am just in love with these. Let me just get it on the sock blocker here. These I got at the North Carolina Fiber Festival, and you guys saw this skeined up or in the hank last time I made a podcast. So I talked about it there. This is the String Theory Colorworks compression sock, 80/20, and this colorway is Stark Effect. Right there. And I always do my socks on a US 1 2.25, 64 stitches. This is the Heel Toe Do-Si-Do by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, or Kay Litton of the Crazy Sock Lady. So I just wanted to do a pattern sock instead of doing just a regular vanilla sock again. This does have a 1x1 twisted rib for 15 rows. And then I put the pattern here. It's just such a fun little pattern, super easy to memorize. It's just 2 rows, 2-row repeat on it, but it really turns out cute for self-striping yarn. Shadow wrap heel, a rounded toe again, 60 stitches for the leg, 65 stitches before I start the toe. And here is the other one. And they turned out pretty close. I really liked the way I started this, where it just has that little pop of color and then it goes into the rest of the heel. But they turned out mostly the same. I think one of these heels is a little bit off on the rows, and so it made the foot off a little bit, but honestly, it's really not that big of a deal. But I think they turned out super cute. Yeah, you can tell here there's a little bit less green here than there is on this one here from the heel. But really, if you're that close and you're going to come over to me and say something, you get what you get from my response back. But I like the toe, the little pink toes. Super cute colorway. Would really recommend it if you like the bright colors. And as you can tell, you know me, I love the bright colors. So just a really fun pattern for the self-striping yarn, because it just gives it a little bit of visual interest there and makes it to have that little bit of a bump there. And it's really easy to do. It's like knit 2 together, slip, slip, knit, yarn over. So nothing really difficult in that pattern whatsoever. So it's definitely an easy one and fun to do if you're just looking for a little bit of a pattern, especially for self-striping yarn, just to give it a little bit more visual interest. So looking forward to wearing these in the fall, because they are, and especially the winter, right? Like, when do we not want a bright color in the winter? So perfect. That is fun. That is that. My half object is another sock. So let me get that. These socks, I have shown the colorway on the podcast before. These are Freckled Whimsy in her Splendid Base, and these are called Squeeze the Day. Here you go. Freckled Whimsy on the Splendid Base and Squeeze the Day. And these are 85%, 85-15. So 437 yards, 100 grams. This was a sock set, and so it did come with a contrasting mini. So here is the colorway and the mini here. These are really pretty. And I have one finished. Sorry, it's stuck. There we go. So I started it with that little bit of orange, and this is a 2x2 twisted rib, 15 rows. My stitch markers are still on there. And so 60 rows again, and then the shadow wrap heel, and then 65 rows before the rounded toe there. And it just so happened to work out, which I love, and I'm hoping it's going to do that on the next one, where the orange color and the contrasting orange for the, I did contrasting heel and toe, actually, it worked out to be right in the orange. So it worked out right in the right time. But I love, these are so my colors, and they're a little bit washed out. This is a little bit more of a greeny blue. This is more of a little bit more of a chartreuse, and this orange is way brighter than it's showing on camera. But it's really pretty. I really like it. And I have started the next one. I've only done a couple rows of the of just straight knitting from the heel. So I got the heel done, or not the heel, so sorry. That would be a cuff. I got the cuff done, and then I just did a couple rows of the straight knitting on that. So that is the half object that I was talking about. What else have I cast on? Well, I'm not going to jump into cast-ons yet. What I'm going to jump into is one that you've seen before. And the one you've seen before that I have put in some work on, it started hurting my hand. I'm not sure if it was just the mosaic knitting. I'm not sure what happened, but it started hurting my hand. So I did take a bit of a break, but I'm hoping to have it done before the next episode. But this is the Night Shift by Andrea Mowry that I am doing in, one moment, that I'm doing in the jewel spun yarn. And the colorways again for that are the Setting Sun, the Midnight Fjords, which is this, and the Golden Green, which is this one. And I'm using a US 8 5mm needle, and these are all acrylic yarn, so they are machine washable, which is sometimes very nice. So here's where it started down here, and then I've done all of that, and then here is where this stitch marker is here's where I was when I podcast last. And so far I have done I've done from here all the way up to up here. So it's really turning out pretty. I think I'm enjoying it. I just haven't pulled it out recently to work on it because it hurt my hand. So it's just all those slip stitches with the I-cord edges on both sides of the project. Has that I-cord, and that's on, again, the US 8 5mm needle. So I think that's going to be really beautiful, especially in the fall and winter months, and it'll be very warm because this is an Aran weight yarn. So definitely nice and warm, and I'm dropping some stitches here, so let me pick those up because definitely don't want to mess that up. Sorry about that. All right, we're back in business. So again, the Night Shift by Andrea Mowry. So that's beautiful. Of course, I love the orange parts the most and the yellows, but that's just me. And this is living in a bag that I made right here. If you remember, I did do this bag. So that's living in mine. Okay, so new cast-ons. I have 3 new cast-ons since I was last with you. Where should I start? I will start here. This one is the Hilary Shawl by Twinset and Purl. And I am doing this for the T&P Year 2024 make-along that Ruth Loves to Knit is doing on her podcast. And this is out of a Yarnable Hypnotic Yarn colorway that I've had in my stash. And it is called Picnic Basket. see if it'll, there it goes. Picnic basket. It is an 8515 superwash merino, 437 yards for 100 grams. And this is picnic basket. It's a really pretty tonal red yarn there. And this is what I have so far. This is a really fun pattern. Lots of cables and seed stitch on it. And you start out down here at the bottom and you do the seed stitch, and then you start to add on these cables. So you start off with, let's see, where did it start? We started down here with this 1x1 ribbing, or 1x1, cable. And then it adds in this other cable here. And then it starts to add in this third cable here, and then I'm starting another one over here. Super easy cables, very easy to read. The seed stitch is absolutely gorgeous, and just a really pretty tonal, different reds, and maybe a little bit of brown. I guess it's kind of a brown dark red. Absolutely gorgeous, and those cables are really pretty. And they have the cables written out, so you can either follow a written direction or there's also charts on it. So it has both on there. I am making this, ooh, what is my needle size? That is an excellent question. A US 5? 3.75, yeah. So, really pretty so far. And I am using this kind of cable needle. I actually went on Kaya the Crazy Sock Lady's, her Amazon storefront, and got this. Because I was using this kind here, and it kept slipping out because it's a thinner yarn and this is pretty thick. So the other one I got, and I'll link it below. This one is working much better for that thinner fingering weight yarn. So that's easier for that. So yeah, the Hilary Shawl by Twinset and Purl. The next thing is the Leeward sweater by, it's like a summer tee. I'll have a picture up. By Julie Hoover, and this one is knit in pieces and then sewn together. This is, I'm making this out of 100% silk by Knitting by Olive, pure silk, and this colorway is oatmeal. It's kind of a grayish taupe color. And then I have this one, which is blood orange, which is a really pretty orange color. I have a lot of the front piece done. It's not completely done, but I have a lot of the front piece done. I am shaping for the shoulder pieces, and I'm using a US 3 3.25 so far. So you start at the bottom down here, and I actually learned how to do a long tail cast on purlwise. So I did some of it on the purl stitches. I did the long tail cast on purlwise, and then for the knit stitches, just a regular long tail cast on. And then I knit back and forth for a certain length. And then it has you mark that length here from the cast on edge. And then starting the shoulder shaping here, which is decreasing. And I'm almost done with that part. I think I'm going to put it on hold here pretty soon and start the back piece. But I knit all of that so far. I think it's going to be beautiful for as a summer tee for sure with the silk. I think that's going to be really beautiful. So And I like how the two colors go together. I like how this oatmeal color kind of mutes out this orange, which is fairly bright. It's kind of getting washed out on the camera. It's brighter than that in person, but I think it really helps diffuse a little bit of that. And the ribbing is really pretty. And I really do like working with the knitting for Olive Pure Silk. Haven't had any real issues with that, so really enjoying that. And then the last whip that I have, I did show the yarn last time. I got this at the North Carolina Fiber Festival, and this is I got it from the Fiber Studio, and it's in the colorway Unique. It's this one. There's the colorway, except I have it upside down. Colorway Unique, and it is their Studio Socks 7525. So there's that. And this is the Irish Gold cardigan for the make along for the Make All The Cardigans 2024. So please tell your friends if you guys would like to join. The last batch of prizes did go out to the prize winners, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a little bit here. But you start with the back piece and you knit for a certain amount of inches, and now I finally got to that point, and now I'm going to pick up some stitches from the cast on edge. But this is being knit currently in a US 4 3.5, and it just has this really beautiful stitch pattern here. Really interesting to do, and it just has these panels here. And so right now it's knit flat back and forth, but I'm just really loving this colorway. Currently, it's because it's knit flat, I'm not doing helical knitting, but when I start doing it in the round, I definitely will, because as you can see, even these two balls of yarn are, you can see a really big difference. So these two are more alike than this one is, for sure. So I will be doing helical knitting once it's in the round, but I'm hoping it's not going to come back to bite me, that doing it flat in just one of the colors is fine. I'm hoping it's not going to be an issue, but it's just a really pretty, easy to follow pattern. I just think this stitch pattern here, right here, is so pretty with the openings there. And I think it's going to be a perfect cardigan for like a spring fall one. And I just love this. It's not showing up quite as raspberry as it is in real life, but it's just so pretty. So pretty. So definitely enjoying that as well. And that's about it. So I will pick up this, I believe you do this back part, so this will be back here, and then I'm going to pick up some front and the side panels here, and then I believe you sew it together and knit the sleeves in the round. So that should be good to go. So that's everything I have been working on the last 50 some days, like I said. And I have also made some purchases, but before I jump into that, just to talk about the Make Along again, please go ahead and join if you're interested in the Make All The Cardigans. There is that group over on Ravelry with a chatter thread as well as a finished object thread. And the prizes went out and the recipients both received them and seemed to enjoy them. I did get some feedback on that, so that was perfect. Just a little bit of a change in the prizes. So if you are international, just because of the cost of shipping internationally, you're still eligible for prizes. However, your prize will be a pattern of your choice, whatever you'd like, up to $10. So if you're local in the US, I will have prizes. I will probably talk about that more. I haven't gotten them yet, but I will have more prizes for the next round of prizes. But be sure to go ahead and join. I would love to interact with you all and see what your projects are over on the on either Instagram or on Ravelry. And I am picking both from the chatter thread and the FO thread. So even if you don't finish your project, you're still eligible for a prize over on the chatter thread. So, but just that little bit of change, just because international shipping is quite a bit, which I learned this last time. So there you go for that. So some things that I have purchased. I was able to go to the, words are hard at the moment, 2 trunk shows over at Oak City Fibers at my local yarn store. If you are local, definitely go by to Oak City Fibers because it's definitely worth. Glenn has some beautiful, beautiful yarns over there. And he makes a wonderful, just wonderful, all-inclusive environment. So definitely go visit Oak City Fibers if you're in my Raleigh area. And he has some wonderful classes as well and some beautiful trunk shows you'll see. So this is a bag from Button Jar Studios. There is her little tag and it does say Button Jar Studios on the side. And this is just such a fun bag. I absolutely love it. And then this is housing my Hilary shawl. And it has beautiful fabric on the inside. Beautiful, lovely leather straps here. And at one point I was using this as a kind of a purse. I didn't even have a project in it. I just threw... I'm not much of a purse carrier. I generally have my wallet and my keys and my phone, and that's that. I don't like carrying a purse. It drives me nuts. But I love this chartreusey color, and this is a nice fabric that is going to wear really well. And then those lovely floral pattern on the inside. It was really hard to choose which bag I wanted from her when she had them there, and I got to meet the owner, and she is lovely. She's on Instagram. I will have her link below. Definitely go check out her. She's on Instagram as well, and so love this bag. And I have, the 2 balls of yarn and the project in there, and they're still, you can tell here, well, you can tell there's still a bunch of room up at the top. So perfect little bag. The other purchase I made was his second yarn trunk show that he had. And this, I did purchase some yarn from Ryan Yarn. And I will have him listed below as well. I got to meet Ryan. He was great to meet, really sweet. Had a lot of lovely yarns, very personable. And so I did pick up a couple. I picked up this one that's called I'm So Gay. And look at those colors. You know me, I'm all for the highlighter green and bright oranges and pinks. Just so pretty. And there you go. This is a high twist. And this is, yarn base is twist sock, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards, 100 grams. So there you go. There's the colorway. I'll turn it the right way so you can actually read it. And then this one is the Phone Sewing Cat Room, which he got from a book. So there's his tag again. And then this is the same. Doesn't want to do its thing. There we go. So that's the same sock base, twist sock, 80%, 80-20 again, in this like fuchsia-y green, and they just go beautiful together. So if you have a chance, go check out Ryan Yarn online and on Instagram. The other thing I purchased was some more needle stoppers, and these are of course by Maple and Purl from Oak City Fibers. And these are the Golden Girls, and they say stay golden. There you go. Look how cute those are. So now I can start using those. And then I do have a couple months of my Trilogy Yarns, Friends colorways to show you. I think this one was February because it's called the one with the candy hearts for Valentine's Day. And this is on her MCN, which is an 80% superwash merino, 10% nylon, 10% new wool in DK, 231 yards, 100 grams. It is just such a fun colorway. Really pretty colors. So that's beautiful. And of course it has my favorites in there. And then the next one, so that was February. This is March. This is called The Evil Orthodontist. Just really pretty. There we go. So that's really pretty. And it's just that bright highlighter greenish color and mostly like a grayish blue black, I guess. And there is a little bit of like purple colors in there. So that's pretty. And then this last one was April. Sorry for the crinkle. It's still in the bag. Hadn't taken it out yet. And this one is called the Moo Point, because it's so funny because it's supposed to be a moot point, but Joey thinks it's called a Moo Point. Hilarious. I love Friends. Do you guys love Friends? I just recently read an article that the Gen Z feel that Friends is like kind of politically incorrect. Maybe. I love Friends, so... And I was, it came out the year I graduated high school, so it's close to my heart on that one. But here it is, grays and greens again. It's kind of that same color green, maybe, as this one. So it could be kind of a cute little combo, but a Moo Point. So pretty gray and white, and then that green color. So that one's nice. There you go. And that's it. I did ask for some yarn for Mother's Day, so I should have some more yarn to show after on the next podcast, so that should be fun. That is what my kids said, what do you want for Mother's Day? And of course I said, well, yarn. You know, here, go to Oak City Fibers, talk to Glenn, he'll know what I want. So yeah, so I should have some pantry enhancements, yarn pantry enhancements the next time we talk. And I will have everything linked below. That is all of the finished objects, half objects, works in progress, all of that fun stuff. Please don't forget the make-along, the Make All The Cardigans. So if you want to get in on that, please do. I love interacting with all of you over there and see the fun projects and the things that people make, which is, you know, such a fun part about being a maker, right? And somebody that creates is seeing what we do with the different colored yarn. You know, you can have one colorway and, you know, 25 people are going to make 25 different things, and it's just the yarn takes on its own life. And that's one of the really beautiful things about what we do. And the reason why I love watching knitting podcasts is to see the different yarns and what the different patterns and what people make. And I just really enjoy that. And hopefully that's why you guys enjoy coming in and spending some time with me as well. So that's all the Yarny Good content. If you're not interested in the therapy stuff, I totally get that. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. I hope you all, if you're mothers, you had a very lovely Mother's Day. If you are missing your mom, please keep her close to your heart. People are never really gone if we remember them. So hopefully you enjoyed your day or enjoyed remembering your mom on that day. And if you didn't, please go get some therapy to help out with whatever things are going on for you. But I wanted to jump into, for the therapy talk, just jump into some unhelpful thinking styles. And so I'm going to go over, some of them each episode right now. So the one I wanted to start with is called all or nothing thinking, or black and white thinking. And this is for the thinking pattern that people get stuck into, the if I'm not perfect, I failed, or either I do it right or I don't do it at all. It has to be this way and it can never be this way, right? And the thing with that is, because number one, none of us is perfect, right? We are going to fail most times when we first start out with things. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. If we all got everything right the first time, it would be probably kind of boring for our lives. And we would also never learn how to pick ourselves back up, right? You can hear my dog shaking around over there. Hold on 1 second. We would really never learn what it feels like to have to pick ourselves up, have to, reevaluate things, right? Never learn how to solve problems if we did everything perfect or we did everything right that first time. We could also not learn how to be inclusive of other people if we thought that this has to be this way and it can never be this way. And so those thinking patterns can be really a problem. And none of these thinking styles that I'm going to talk about over the next few episodes are not necessarily a bad thing. It's not like I'm judging somebody that does this, because we all do this. We all get stuck in these thinking patterns, especially if we're not feeling good about ourselves. We're going through a tough time. Things are happening in the world that we're not agreeing with. We all get stuck in those thinking patterns. The problem comes when these thinking patterns are making it to where we are not as effective in our lives as we would like to be. They are causing roadblocks in our lives. We're noticing that maybe we're not meshing well, or we're really feeling bad about ourselves, or it's causing us a lot of anxiety because I failed at XYZ, right? And so when we get stuck in these thinking patterns is often a time when we need to reevaluate. Maybe we need to talk to other people. Maybe we need to go get some therapy and talk to somebody. And none of us is without getting stuck in some of, if not all of these thinking patterns at one time in our lives. So if any time you feel like you are, I talk about one and you feel like you're kind of stuck in a pattern that isn't working for you on that, you can always email me and ask me about maybe getting some help. You can call your employee assistance program. You can look on Psychology Today. You can talk to a friend, a support that you may have. So definitely reach out. We're all works in progress. None of us ever gets anything right 100% of the time, right? So feel free to talk more about it in the comments, or if you feel like you've gotten stuck in a pattern like that in your life and you want to share, it could be a great topic, great conversation, and I'm here to help if you guys would like any help in finding ongoing help in your area or wherever you are living. So we'll go into some more. There are 10 of them, and I think over the next 10 episodes we'll go into one for each of them, and hopefully it'll be really good. I think these will be good topics, because I often will find, talking to people, that I'll hear the things that they're saying and I'll think, oh, okay, we're stuck in this kind of pattern, and we'll talk a little bit about it. And oftentimes, more often than not, people are happy to say, oh, you may be right, that may be an ongoing issue for me, and I just never saw it before. And I often talk to people about the fact that it's so hard to have perspective on our lives when we're in the midst of living it. And so that's one of the reasons why therapy works. I tell people to think of, you're swimming in your fishbowl of life, right? And you have your friends and your family, and they're the people that are in your fishbowl with you, and they have the same perspective you do, where a therapist is outside of your fishbowl of life, and they can see from the outside in. And sometimes talking to somebody that isn't intimately involved with you in your life as a friend or a family member can give a different perspective, and it oftentimes can be helpful. So hopefully you enjoy these little discussions about unhelpful thinking styles, and if not, maybe you can help somebody else with them as well. So I will leave you all with that. And as I always say, please go give yourself the same grace that you would give everyone else. Don't be so hard on yourself. And I will see you hopefully much sooner than 56 days. Take care. Bye-bye.